What is up, best ones worldwide? It's the best one, Donnie, here with a special Christmas video, which I do want to wish all you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. I hope you guys are spending that extra quality time with your loved ones, with your family, and of course, hopefully you're getting what you want this year for Christmas. If you're not a best one yet already and you want to watch me rebuild my collection, watch me review toys, go on toy hunts, and live my nostalgic memories, recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications, because of course you already know, the grind is real. And speaking of nostalgia, today I want to talk about some of my favorite Christmas gifts growing up. So for today, I figured since it's Christmas, I want to make a list and talk about some of my favorite gifts I got growing up. I was very fortunate enough to have great Christmases, and Christmas is one of my favorite holidays of the year, and it's not because of getting gifts. The reason I love Christmas is giving back to those who support me, those who love me, those who are a part of my life. And Christmas to me is like the best time to really show my love, show my appreciation to those people that I love that are in my life. And I do have quite a list here. And I also want to know some of your favorite Christmas gifts down in the comment section below. So with that being said, let's get it. The grind is real. I am very excited to share with you guys some of my favorite Christmas gifts growing up. And man, I actually do have some of those gifts still from my childhood, while others, you're going to be getting pictures and visuals of the stuff that I got, because not everything stays in the best condition through time, and you grow out of certain things. Starting off the list with item number 1, it's gotta be my first bicycle. I got Christmas 2000. And around that time, I was only 3 years old. And the reason this first bicycle was very special to me was because my mom's best friend, Pam, who I used to call my Auntie Boom Boom, she bought me that bike. And that is like one of the biggest memories that I do have of her, because unfortunately, my Auntie Pam, she did pass away, I believe a year or two later after that Christmas. And just growing up, like, I always remembered seeing that bike because my mom, she didn't want to sell it, she didn't want to throw it away as I got older. So I had that bike until I was like 14 or 15, when we started to like clean things out in the backyard and stuff. And I just remember riding that bicycle, being really happy as a kid. And that's like one of my first memories of Christmas. And my Auntie Pam, like, I have like nothing but great memories of her. She was my mom's best friend in the world. And my mom, unfortunately, isn't here with me. But the stories that she shared, as I was growing up, about my Auntie Pam, like, it made me really appreciate that bike so much. And it's so cool that, like, I have, like, the picture of me when I got the bike. Moving on now to the next gift that was one of my favorite ones I got, and that was a blender.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Yes, a blender I got growing up, and it's not just a regular blender. It was an Island Oasis machine. I don't know how the hell my dad was able to get one of them, but the backstory behind it was every year growing up on my dad's side of the family, we would always go to Cape Cod, and we would go around like the West Yarmouth area, and we always stayed at this place called the Red Jacket Beach Resort. and they used to have an Island Oasis machine. They would make strawberry daiquiris, and they also made mudslides, which mudslides were my favorite. I just want to say, because when you think of mudslides, you think of alcoholic mudslides and daiquiris. They were non-alcoholic. They did make them for kids without the alcohol in it. So before you go to Red Jacket, they're following the guidelines, alright? Even though they do serve alcoholic ones, they also do non-alcoholic. And I loved my mudslides and strawberry daiquiris in Cape Cod. I would always talk about it. That's like one of the things I was so excited about when it came to vacation, was getting myself a mudslide at the Red Jacket Beach Resort. And I think my dad knew how much I loved that Island Oasis machine, which is why, like, I didn't even have this on my list. He surprised me with it, and my goodness, I used the hell out of the machine. I still have it to this day. There is some repairs that I have to do. I kind of want to get it going in 2025 because I love having people over. I love doing cookouts in the summer. And man, getting the Island Oasis machine up and running, that would be really cool. I keep saying it and I keep holding it off. I think that's going to be one of my resolutions for 2025. But yeah, that Island Oasis machine, that I had a lot of great memories making my own mudslides and stuff. It was one of the coolest gifts I ever got. Moving on now to the next gift that really stands out to me, and that has got to be back in 2007. I got my first ever Nintendo Wii, and I think there was a lot of people that got the Wii for Christmas that year. That was one of their favorite all-time gifts, which for me, I loved my Wii. I loved playing the Wii Sports, loved playing Mario Party 8, loved even the Beach Resort, playing the basketball mode in that. I really enjoyed the Wii growing up, and one of my favorite all-time consoles, because I did grow up in the late 90s, but I also grew up in the 2000s, and the Wii was just something new. And I think it really, like, changed gaming as a whole. And getting that Nintendo Wii, like, I remember I was so freaking happy because the Wii was very, very hard to find at that time. It was tough. I think that, like, it took years for them to, like, really, like, stop having that console out of stock. But one of my favorite consoles of all time. Moving on now to the next Christmas item that brings me back to some good memories was getting my first drum set. And that was also, I believe, back in 2007, maybe 2008, I got that. And man, the backstory behind that is I used to play percussion in elementary school all the way until my last year of middle school. And I always played drums. I really enjoyed it because my dad's side of the family, I do have some musical people in there. Shout out to my Uncle Brian and Trevor, who also played drums, and Trevor also played guitar and a bunch of other instruments and stuff. But my Uncle Brian, he was a drummer, and I always thought he was like the coolest uncle ever, so that's why I wanted to be a drummer. And I got my first ever drum set back in, I think it was 2007 or 2008. I don't remember exactly the year, but I love that drum set. Definitely used it, and then a couple years later, I ended up getting a more professional drum set, which I actually ended up getting rid of a year ago. Or no, I got rid of it this year, because I'm going to be renovating my upstairs, and I'm going to be renovating the last room here in the basement. But yeah, that drum set, another really awesome gift I got for Christmas in 2007 or 2008. Moving on now to another great Christmas gift I got growing up, and that is the Webkins Cheeky Dog and Cheeky Cat. I think I got this in Christmas 2006. And man, Webkins growing up was one of my favorite games to play on the PC. And like pretty much Webkins was a game where you would go to like a store, you would buy a plush, and it would have this code. And you would pretty much enter the code on the Webkins website, and you would adopt that animal, and then you pretty much, it was very similar to like The Sims. except like you also had like an arcade where you get to play games, you get to get coins and stuff, but you get to like build like your houses, and like it was a really fun game in the 2000s. Like if you grew up in the 2000s, you know about Webkins, and yeah, I was a collector of them. I love that game so much. I played it for hours and hours, and I ended up getting the Cheeky Dog and Cheeky Cat for Christmas to complete my collection. Because at that time, I think I had probably at least 90% of the Webkins that were made and came out around that time. So my dad, he wanted to get me the Cheeky Dog and Cheeky Cat, and unfortunately, I don't have it in my collection anymore because it was actually in a fire that happened. And another thing I want to say about Webkins while we're on the subject, I hate the fact that Webkins literally shut down and pretty much like took away my account that I spent thousands of dollars on. There's some people that are still able to go on their Webkins website. I can't. And there's like no way of me being able to recover my account. And it's unfortunate because like this channel is based off nostalgia, and I would have loved to do a video looking back at like all like my rooms and like all the Webkins I had. That would have been such a legendary video that I can't do. So fuck you, Webkins.
It's not that serious. Trust me, I know that.
Moving on now to the next gift that I got, going all the way back to Christmas 2003, one of my favorite video games of all time. Thanks to my Uncle Lyle and Uncle Robbie for getting me this. Still have it to this day, and that is the PlayStation 2 SpongeBob Battle for the Bikini Bottom. This was one of my all-time favorite video games. This is what made me fall in love with the SpongeBob franchise. And I just remember grinding this game, friggin' skipping school, pulling all-nighters, trying to defeat robots and get golden spatulas. This was one of my all-time favorite games, and when they remastered this during the pandemic, you know your boy, of course, had to play the shit out of that game and beat it, of course. But yeah, this SpongeBob game, I had so much fun playing growing up. One of my all-time favorite video games. Like, nothing will ever come close to this Battle for the Bikini Bottom. Just a great video game. And my Uncle Lyle and Uncle Robbie, they're the ones that really got me into SpongeBob, because if it wasn't for getting this game, I probably wouldn't love SpongeBob or Nickelodeon as much as I do. But thank you to them for getting me this game. I had so many awesome memories playing this growing up. And speaking of video games, a year later, for Christmas, I ended up getting PlayStation 2 WWE Smackdown vs. Raw. Another great wrestling video game. This was the start of the Smackdown vs. Raw series that THQ and Yokes would come out with every year. And even though I played a lot of the more older school games, like Shut Your Mouth and Just Bring It and all the other SmackDown games, this one really stands out to me because in those other games, I would always just have wrestling matches with my cousins and my friends. But this game right here, I would friggin' play the story mode. And I remember it very vividly, where like you pretty much like would be able to unlock legends. You got to choose go SmackDown or Raw, and this was just a really fun game, and I remember getting this and playing the shit out of it. So I have to go with SmackDown vs. Raw, the first game. One of my favorite Christmas gifts I ever got. Moving on now to the next gift I got, which was a year later, Christmas 2005. I got my very own Taekwondo Kicking / Punching Bag. And I think the reason my parents got me that for Christmas was because they were sick of me staying after my karate lessons, my Taekwondo lessons, and just kicking and punching that bag. So to save them time, I think they wanted to get me one for home. And the backstory behind Taekwondo is I got into it because my mom and I, we would always go to Blockbuster / Hollywood Home Videos, And my mom rented out the Karate Kid movies. She really enjoyed those growing up, and she wanted to show me those movies, and I fell in love with karate, Taekwondo, so then that led to me actually getting signed up for Taekwondo, which I was able to get to all the way to High Brown, which in my dojo was the second to last, or no, it was the third to last belt I needed to get black. Because after that, you would get Deputy Black, and then you would get Black Belt. And believe it or not, I was supposed to go for my Deputy Black the week my dojo shut down. Because what happened was, the wife and the husband who were running the dojos, they ended up having a divorce, so they split the students up, and unfortunately, my Taekwondo instructor shut down the dojo the week I was supposed to go for my Deputy Black, which would have been my last belt to black, and I never finished it. One of my biggest regrets growing up, but Taekwondo taught me a lot of things. It taught me self-defense, it taught me respect, and discipline. And I really hope that one day when I have a kid, he or she does Taekwondo, because it really taught me a lot, and it really taught me discipline. But I have so many awesome memories of me kicking and punching that bag, and even after Taekwondo, I would use that punching bag a lot in my DITB1 competition series that I used to do back in the day. I would always use that as like some type of obstacle, and I friggin' beat the shit out of that thing, and I finally had to get rid of it, unfortunately, a couple years ago. And unfortunately, I don't have my kicking/punching bag that I got in Christmas 2005, because it definitely got worn out from all the kicking, all the punching, all the slamming I did on there. So unfortunately, I did have to throw it away, sadly. But so many great memories I have of me just kicking and punching that bag. Another great Christmas gift that I got, going all the way back to Christmas 2004, when I got that Smackdown vs. Raw, I got WWE Ruthless Aggression Series 11 and Classic Superstar Series 4 Yokozuna. And I did collect wrestling figures before this, but I have this one iconic picture that I show probably in half of my videos to you guys that really make this series stand out, because I remember getting those figures that year, and man, that was one of my favorite Ruthless Aggression series to this day. And finally, I had to save one of the best gifts I got for last, because I still have it to this day. Obviously, it's not in the best condition, because I got this Christmas 2005, and I definitely wore this thing all the time. Whenever I got the opportunity to, brought it to all the WWE live events, and that is the WWE Spinner Championship. And man, this is a classic title. You can tell this title has definitely seen better days here. Like, you can just hear that. Oh, so bad. But, like, even here, like, you can even look, like, just, it's definitely seen better days, this championship title. But I love this belt when I got this. This was the only thing I asked for that year for Christmas. And, man, I got it, and I was so happy, because John Cena was my childhood hero. He was my favorite wrestler of all time. The way people in the 80s and 90s look up to Hulk Hogan, how people in like the late 90s, 2000s look up to Stone Cold and The Rock, that's how I looked up to John Cena. He was always my favorite wrestler, going all the way back to the Thugonomics when he won that United States Championship, WrestleMania 20. I love Cena, and he also was from my area, because he was born and raised in West Newbury, Massachusetts, and even went to Springfield College, which is not that far from me. And man, getting this championship was one of my favorite Christmas gifts I ever got. And I really do want to like take this time and thank my dad, thank my mom, thank all my friends, all my family for giving me these nostalgic memories growing up. I was very fortunate enough to have great birthdays, great Christmases, and I really hope that you guys were as well, because trust me, I don't take anything I have for granted, and I really hope that you guys do enjoy your Christmas today. Hope you guys are catching up with your family, your loved ones, opening gifts, and of course, giving back to those that you love, because I sure as hell do. One of the reasons I really look forward to Christmas. But guys, let me know in the comment section below some of your favorite Christmas gifts you got growing up. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not a best one yet already, recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. We are going to be ending the year off strong. New videos coming out every day for the rest of the year, with the room tour video being the first video of the new year. The link's down in the description box below. You can go follow me over on my social medias, and We Are Wrestling, of course. All the links down below. And, of course, to all the best ones out there worldwide, we are Take It Over. Peace. Might as well spin this one last time. Barely spins.